Dating nowadays sucks. It legitimately sucks ass. Now, before I get too far in this video and talk too much about it, I'm straight. I'm attracted to women. That's just something I want to say. It's not really important to the story, but just to clarify some things up if you're a little like don't know. That's kind of where it goes. So just maybe some if you're confused on some parts about the story, that's just kind of where it's going. So anyway, first I want to talk about the context of dating nowadays. For one, you're on Tinder, Bumble, and all these like online things, and Snapchat. Snapchat is just basically a dating platform nowadays, which I really didn't learn until this year. I really did not know that whatsoever until this year. And again, that'll be part of my story as well. But first off, when you're in person, like for example, the best example for me is like in a college class or a party or something like that. Every single interaction with a girl or a person of the opposite sex has to be flirtatious or something of that nature. And I think that's just bullshit. I legitimately think that it's just dumb and bullshit way of thinking. I think that it always should be friends first. And then if you're like, hey, I really like this person and I think we could go further in this relationship, maybe even go on a date or something, figure out if we match really well, then it can turn into that feelings. But I just feel like everybody approaches it with first we need a date. Like that's the first approach, and then it's friendship. And I just don't like that. I legitimately don't. But anyway, the online stuff. This is the stuff that people are most interested in. Snapchat being an online thing. It's just dumb. Everything's a game. Every photo's a game. Everything's strategically planned. It's just dumb. Like, when I take a picture, I'm not even thinking about it. If I don't look good, I don't really give a flying fuck. Like, I'm being honest. I don't give a flying fuck. I literally don't care. I'm just taking a picture of whatever I'm doing, or just a picture of myself, or whatever it may be. I could be whacking it off and just a picture of my face, smiling, and it doesn't mean anything. But at the end of the day, I don't get why Snapchat's a dating thing. I think that's just for interactions, friends, whatever. And I get like a lot of people do meet people that way, and that's perfectly fine. I think that's great. I think if it's amazing, however you meet your significant other and you really grow together, I think that's great. No matter how you meet, you could fall in some shit, and I think that's still an awesome story. Honestly, that's awesomer than I've ever. This would be the coolest story I've ever heard. Meaning other person, but like Tinder and Bumble and all that stuff, it's just dumb. Because one, let's see, this is the story. This is where the story's starting. I went on this date with this girl last year. I really haven't been on a date per se since then. So it was last year. We went on a couple other dates after this, but the leading up to before dating, and this has happened to me a lot. This happens to me a lot. It sucks. It fucking blows. Because first of all, you have to like make conversation, but you don't want to make too much conversation, and you want to ask them out on a date first. It's this weird balancing act because for one, you want to ask the person out. Obviously, you want to ask them on a date, learn more about them, go out somewhere to eat, and see if you guys are compatible. I think it's almost impossible to really truly know somebody online. I legitimately think that I will stand on business about that. I think you need to meet in person, honestly, first, and then you can go online and do your thing. But meeting them in person is so important, in my opinion. I think you really get to see how their body language is, how they interact with you in person, and what they're doing. Like, are they always on their phone? You know, like there's so many other things rather than just words and texting. Even like voice calls, I still don't think are nearly as good as being in person. So anyway, back to my point. When you're texting the person or chatting or whatever you're doing on these apps, you don't I don't want to ask too many questions. I don't, because if I ask too many questions about them, I know everything what they have to say before we get on the date, then we have nothing to talk about and nothing to build the conversation on. It just sucks. It's just boring. We're doing like it's just would be lackluster. It sucked. So anyway, you want to, and I don't like that. So that's why I'm saying like, hey, but you also can't trust people online either. The person might not be real if you just say, hey, let's meet up, and then 10 people just jump you and then beat the shit out of you and steal your money and car. Then what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, that's just kind of where I'm getting at with this. So anyway, I go on this date with this girl. It went well. I honestly, I think we're pretty compatible, but it was more so like a friendship, to be honest. And we pretty much felt mutual about it. And I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I don't think that's gonna work out too well." And she was like, "Yeah, I really think so too." And I think it ended up really mutually. And so it wasn't really a bad experience. I met this girl, got on a club because of her, like got the connection through it. So it all worked out, I guess. Well, worked out well, I guess. But matching nowadays on any platform, and I only have one. It's Tinder. I'm on Tinder. I'm not gonna lie about it. I am. It sucks, dude. It sucks. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna front about it. It blows ass because you match with a person. You're whoever makes the first move makes the first move. It's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. Whoever makes the first move on a fucking text. So this girl I'm going to talk about in particular, she starts it out. She says meow. If I had a red flag, I'd be throwing that up because why are you starting a conversation with meow? I don't get that. I don't get that. Just say hello, howdy, how's your day going? Or say something about yourself. Ask a question to start off. Anything other than just a weird thing like, howdy do, laddie, how's the day going? Like, honestly, that would be better than meow. And I get that she's saying hi, like, but it's just in a weird, quirky way. Like, and again, that's fine if that's your personality and the other person really connects with that. That's fine. But I just feel like being a more basic answer, especially starting off a conversation, is just always better. It just is. And then I was like, hey, how's your day going? And she said, oh, pretty good. Never re-ask a question. Okay, I'm not going to respond if you're not going to re-ask me a question or do anything else. Like, I'm a strong believer in that. When you ask somebody a question, you're continuing the conversation. You should not be trying to fill the holes and building the conversation yourself. The person, it should be equal parts, building like a puzzle. It should be equal and putting the pieces together. So when the other person doesn't respond, I'm not going to respond. And then this audacity to respond and say, why aren't you texting me? One, we've texted twice, motherfucker. Twice. It doesn't make sense. Why would I? Why would I respond? Why would I feel the need to do anything of that nature? No. No. You're not my friend. You're not my pal. We've exchanged 2 words through text. And why are you bitching at me? I was like, because you didn't continue the conversation on. And then she said something like, oh, well, how's your day going today? I was like, good, I guess. How was yours? And she said, oh, pretty good. And I was like, oh, that's good. What do you do? Are you in college? What are you up to nowadays? She's like, yeah, I'm in college. And that was it. So I unmatched from her because I'm not going to fill in holes in this conversation and just expect her to be she shouldn't, nobody should expect that. The person that you don't even know to fill in holes in a conversation. You need to engage with the conversation equally as the other person. That's just my opinion, or just a little bit more, but never come off too naggy either. So that's just my problem with it nowadays. It's just all based on looks, and I think that's just all so stupid. Again, you don't know the person when you don't meet him, and I'm a big believer in this. And you can hate me all for this take if you want, but I believe that you need to be attracted to the other person in a relationship. I legitimately think that. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but half the point of getting married with somebody is just being attracted to them, is making babies. Like, again, some people don't want that, but it is a big part of it. Like, sex is a big part of a relationship, and I don't think anybody's really going to be hating on me for that. But so being attracted to the other person, I legitimately think is a huge part of dating. I'm not saying you think that they're the most beautiful person in the world, because that's also not true. I just think you need to be attracted to them. And yeah, and you obviously have a good personalities match. That's really, really, really important. But yeah, I think being attracted to somebody is like 10% of it as well. Like, I think that's also a big part. Honestly, 20%. So yeah, I know that's random. I know I threw that in, but basically, if you don't find somebody super, super, super attractive, you're basically swiping left on them. And I think that's just dumb. And I think that's just downright stupid. And again, pictures are very deceiving in good and bad ways, in my opinion. And a lot of people are changing all the time. somebody might look completely different a month from now, and they just still have those pictures up. Those pictures could be 2 years old, and you don't know it. And then you meet the person like, yeah, that's me from 2 years ago. I've just had my Tinder profile for a while. But anyway, I just think online dating, or dating in general, the atmosphere it is right now, it just kind of blows. And again, this could be me bitching about it. Maybe I'm just doing this all wrong. Maybe I just need to go up to every girl expecting it to be a relationship. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know what everybody else thinks. Put your comments in the thoughts in the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna stop this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, and as always, have a great day.